Have you ever felt your heart race just thinking about asking for what you want? Do you find yourself saying never mind before even making a request, convinced the answer will be no? What if I told you that the very thing you're avoiding, rejection, could be the key to unlocking everything you've been too scared to pursue? Most people think rejection hurts because somebody says no, but that isn't what causes the real damage. The real damage happens long before anyone answers. It happens when you stop asking, when you stop applying, when you stop speaking, when you stop trying, because at some point, fear stops protecting you from rejection and starts controlling your life. Sarah didn't realize that was happening to her. At 28 years old, she had a stable career, supportive coworkers, and more potential than most people around her. But every important opportunity seemed to trigger the same emotional response. Fear. Failure wasn't the thing that scared her most. What terrified her was the possibility of putting herself out there and being told she wasn't enough. Whenever she considered speaking up in meetings, her heart raced. Whenever she thought about asking for more responsibility, she hesitated. Whenever she imagined applying for a promotion, her mind immediately produced reasons to wait. Not now. Maybe later. Maybe after more experience. Maybe after more preparation. The excuses always sounded reasonable, but they all served the same purpose: avoiding the possibility of hearing no. For years, Sarah never noticed what that fear was costing her. Then one day, something happened that forced her to confront it. A management position opened inside her company. The position checked every box she cared about. More money, more influence, more room to grow. The kind of opportunity she had been waiting for. People encouraged her to apply. Even her manager suggested she would be a strong candidate. But every time she opened the application page, the same thoughts appeared. What if I'm not qualified enough? What if they think I'm overestimating myself? What if everyone realizes I don't belong there? Days passed, then weeks. Eventually, the deadline arrived. Sarah never applied. A month later, she sat in a conference room applauding while another employee accepted the position. Someone she respected, someone with less experience, someone who simply had the courage to try. And in that moment, Sarah realized something painful. Nobody had rejected her. She had rejected herself. That realization stayed with her, not because she had lost a promotion, but because she began wondering how many other opportunities had disappeared for the exact same reason. And what Sarah discovered next completely changed the way she understood fear. Because the real reason people avoid rejection has almost nothing to do with confidence. And once you understand what's happening inside your brain, you'll never look at fear the same way again. Most people assume fear is a weakness. It isn't. Fear is a prediction. Your brain is constantly trying to anticipate pain before it happens. And rejection has always been one of the strongest social threats humans can experience. For most of human history, being excluded from the group wasn't merely uncomfortable. It could be dangerous. Your nervous system still carries traces of that ancient programming, which is why a modern rejection often feels much larger than it actually is. A promotion, a business idea, a difficult conversation, a relationship, a request. Before your brain asks what you might gain, it often asks what you might lose. And if the emotional risk feels high enough, something strange happens. The brain starts generating perfectly reasonable excuses. You tell yourself you need more preparation, more knowledge, more certainty, more time. But often what you're really seeking is a guarantee that rejection won't happen. And that guarantee never arrives. This is why so many people remain stuck. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack intelligence, because they spend years waiting to feel ready. Sarah eventually realized that waiting wasn't solving the problem. Avoidance was feeding it. So she decided to do something uncomfortable. She started making requests. Small ones at first, nothing life-changing, just situations where someone might say no. Sometimes the answer was no, sometimes it was yes, but something unexpected happened. Every rejection felt smaller than the fear that came before it. Nobody laughed. Nobody humiliated her. Nobody treated her like she imagined they would. The catastrophe her mind predicted never arrived. And gradually, her relationship with rejection began to change. She stopped seeing it as evidence that something was wrong with her. She started seeing it as information, feedback, data, nothing more. As the months passed, she became more willing to take chances, more willing to speak, more willing to ask, not because she became fearless, because she stopped expecting fear to disappear before taking action. And that distinction changed everything. Most people believe confidence creates action, but reality usually works the other way around. Action creates confidence, not because success magically removes fear, but because exposure teaches the nervous system that fear and danger are not the same thing. Every time you survive an uncomfortable situation, your brain updates its prediction. Every time you hear no and keep moving forward, rejection loses a little more power. The people you admire aren't people who never hear no. They are people who stopped allowing no to define them, because every meaningful life eventually requires the same decision. Do you want certainty? Or do you want possibility? Because you rarely get both. The opportunities that change your future are often hiding behind conversations you're afraid to start, requests you're afraid to make, risks you're afraid to take. And the longer you wait for fear to disappear, the more life passes by unchanged. Maybe the question isn't, what if they reject me? Maybe the better question is, what is rejection already costing me? Before you go, I want you to answer one question. What opportunity are you currently avoiding because you're afraid of hearing no? Write it in the comments. Not for me, for yourself. Because the moment you can name the fear, you stop letting it hide in the background and control your decision. And if this video gave you a new perspective on rejection, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Every week we explore the hidden psychological patterns behind self-sabotage, focus, discipline, identity, and personal transformation.